What's up YouTube, do you feel lucky here? And as you can see behind me, I have a little bit of a mess. This is something I haven't done on the channel for a little bit, and it's kind of like a technology video. If you've been subscribed for a while, you know this is my computer. I've dubbed it Project Gastly. It's a custom water-cooled X99 build, and right now you can obviously see it's not really water-cooled or anything. All I got is a reservoir and the CPU block in there because everything else is removed. Well, you think, oh, did it break or something? No, I'm just, I'm ridiculous, and I wanted to do more to it. So, as you can see, I've already drained the loop and kind of took it all apart a little bit, but then I figured I'd jump in the video, kind of talk about what I'm going to do to this thing. Maybe a little bit of a build log. It might be just one part, maybe two, depending on how long this takes me and how much of a pain, because I'm going to have to redo all of my tubing runs and stuff, because I'm kind of changing a few things up. And the reason I need to redo tubing runs is because I'm adding another radiator in here, which I had originally. I never figured out how to do it because it was my first time around. And now I've seen some more stuff from other people. I've got some ideas that I'm gonna take off, and I'm gonna be able to fit another. It's just a 120 in the front right here, and the other I have to flip the 360 that I have around here. But the whole reason I'm adding this, because it didn't really matter before, is because I've got a second 1080 to put into my system, and this is a EVGA super clocked, just super clocked. So basically it is the reference PCB, so it's just the reference 1080 board with, obviously EVGA's cooler on it. And I got this one instead of the Founders Edition like I did the original time, because, well, A, these were all available now, and B, much cheaper. So it's the same PCB, same water block and stuff, so it doesn't really matter. This one is clocked higher, and I'm not 100% sure how that works. I know I've read before that the base, essentially, that it'll take the lower clock, but it was actually, I'm not sure if it's actually going to be clocked 1700 base clock like that card is, or if it's going to be the 1600 that one is. But it was actually prioritizing, because I was running these in SLI. I just put it with the air cooler on there in the second slot right there, and I got a high bandwidth bridge somewhere over here. I was doing it, and it was actually prioritizing the EVGA card because it was a higher clock, and I was actually using that as my main card for any tasks that were only like single GPU and whatnot. So I'm curious to see. So I am going to put that in the top slot because it does seem to work a little better than my original Founders Edition one that I had. Who knows? It's just the silicon lottery, as they say. But yeah, basically, so all I'm doing is a couple things. One, I'm adding the second radiator, obviously second graphics card, so that in turn second radiator. For this, I've got the main thing to connect the two cards is this. It's a serial, like just a bridge, so I don't have to put tubing in between. It's just a bridge that mounts right to the EK blocks that I have. Right in the front of it, fits perfectly. EK has an awesome build design thing on the website to see what you need. They put my board in and everything. So okay, this is what you need. So boom, right there. And then obviously I've got another water block and backplate to go for the card. But if you have followed this build before, originally this build was pastel, and then I went to a clear liquid purple, and now I'm going back to pastel again. I'm going to do it a little again. Just don't mind, it's not actually purple, it's just white right now. I'm going to put the dye in when it is in the loop. And I got some tips, actually. J2Sense actually had his test bench. He had a purple, and it was like the purple that I was trying to get originally. I could not get, because I just had this Mayhem's purple dye, and it just did not work the way I wanted. It just didn't look right. Well, I actually commented on the video, and he actually responded to me, and he told me how he got that purple tone is you got purple dye, red dye, and pink dye, and mixed them all together. So I'm assuming to make it more of a warmer purple, which is kind of what I'm going for, because if you can see just kind of not really can't focus. I don't know if you can really see that, but it is a warmer purple for the cords and stuff. It's not like the deeper purple. So that's really kind of the color I'm going for. So hopefully it does work out, and hopefully I have enough liquids just in case I do need to do some trial and error from that point. But we shall see. But yeah, so I'm gonna be working on that. So probably the next thing I got to do is I've got to put the water block on my second graphics card. And then I have to mount everything up back in the case, the radiators and everything like that. And then I have to figure out my tubing runs. So probably just gonna be a lot of time lapsing from here. I'm not gonna probably talk too much unless there's something I really see significantly, because it's not that. But if you guys are curious, if this is the first time you're checking on the channel and what the actual whole build is, it's an MSI Gaming Pro Carbon, I believe, X99 motherboard. It's a 6800K. which in retrospect I think I should have gotten a 6850 at this point, which at the same time I'm But so 6800K, 32 gigs of it's just Corsair Vengeance. I think 3000 megahertz. No, I think it's only 2666. Just because I was cheap and I cheaped on the RAM, even though the rest of the systems are a little ridiculous. And obviously, I had the original Founders Edition 1080, and now I'm adding the second 1080. So it's going to be 1080s and SLI, and all my water cooling stuff's EK, and you know, power supply, EVGA, stuff like that. Nothing really special. So all the different stuff. But either way, guys, hope if you're checking in the first time, don't forget to subscribe. But I'll probably check in probably at the end of this, whether this is the only part or at the end of this video, when I'm completely done. But we'll see. But all right, guys, hope you guys enjoy this little time lapse I'm gonna put together. Well, guys, it's the moment of truth. The video might look a little different because I'm recording this on my phone because my battery, camera battery died at some point and I didn't even realize it. So I'm not even quite sure what the what footage you guys are gonna get. Pretty basically, it's going to end sometime, probably me putting together graphics cards. But as you can see, I ran the tube and stuff. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's just kind of how I had to run it. I did manage to fit the second radiator right there, with obviously the top one right there. Got some odd bends. This one right here was kind of ridiculous because I went like multiple ways and in. Like it's pretty wild. But the graphics, both graphics cards are in. I've got, well, obviously I've got the 2 cables sticking out, unplugged. I've got another one of these coming as well, because I got one that looks exactly like this coming for obviously the second one instead of this one. This is the one that came with the EVGA one, but I have the EVGA on top now and then the Founders Edition on bottom, just because, well, you know, honestly, I wanted to see, because this one was giving me better performance, and this is what it was prioritizing, so I figured I'd put it in the x16 slot, because I think with the 6800, it's not going to, I don't have enough PCIe lanes to do x16 on both, so, oh well. So basically 16 times 8 is basically what it's going to be. I was just doing this because I was like, oh, is this going to fit with the glass? And yeah, I got no problem there. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think it'll look a little better with the liquids in it. It's a little wild. Everything, this bend probably turned out the best, which I thought it was like garbage at first, but then it actually turned out pretty well because it actually goes in parallel with the card right into there. This one's okay. It's just, that one's just kind of the orientation of the radiator, really, and I didn't really have much of a choice. And I had to have my drain plug still, too, so that was kind of an inconvenience. I had to twist this a little because with the radiator, I couldn't have it the exact orientation I had it earlier, because if I turned to this way, this bumped right into the radiator, so kind of a pain. This one took me like 3 tries, because I kept messing up the angle going in, and it's still not a perfect bend either. It's kind of it bubbled a little, but I'm hoping you can't notice it too much, so hopefully it doesn't look too bad with the fluids in it. If not, I'm gonna have to deal with it, and I'll deal with it. I'll fix it at a later date. But without further ado, let's put some fluids in this and see if it leaks, because that's gonna be the next test. So I'll see you guys once I get that all set up.
Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill.
Alright guys, as you can see in the background, it's all back together and it works. I fired up Mass Effect to make sure that, you know, that everything was working. I was kind of worried about the graphics cards for a second, because for some reason the NVIDIA's control panel is tripping out. But it all seems to be good. Everything seems to be working. You see, it turned out really awesome. Some of my bends I'm not a huge fan of, but honestly, I didn't want to have this thing down for more than a day, and it was already all day today anyway, so you know, it's up what it is. I'm gonna live with it. I do really like the color of the fluid, at least. I got it down pretty good. I really need to switch these out, this out down here. There's a couple of things that need to be cleaned up. I've got a couple of things I'm gonna do to this still as well. I don't know if I'll do another video with it or not, but there's a couple little things. But as you can see, the color of the fluid, if you light, it's kind of hard to tell with the lights. Oh, it looks pretty good on the camera, to be honest. It matches these cables that I got from, I think, Cable Mod, I believe. I think I got these ones because I had an issue with another set. I got one too short. Either way, so it matches almost perfectly. So it's that like warmer purple, and I think it looks really cool. It's back to the pastel. I definitely like the pastel. Is that just a shadow? I think so. Sorry, I was getting a little messed up there. That's the other thing I wanted to show you guys. Since I drained the lube, I mean, this is a little mixed with distilled water, but this is what I just drained into. That's what the fluid looked like. I put so much purple dye in this, and I mean, it has like a very, I think, and no, I'm probably wrong. It doesn't even really have, I'm thinking it has a purple hue, but that's the LED lights that I'm seeing in the background. And I don't understand why this clear fluid just did not take to that purple dye. So all the purple that I ever saw in there was the LEDs and stuff that I had going, so it was never actually purple to begin with, and I think it looks so much better with the pastel. Hopefully I don't have any issues, like the color doesn't fall out or anything like that. But I mean, we'll see. I think I understand that some of the formulas have been fixed a little bit. It's weird. It's just a shadow that, like that. The way it reflects, it was bugging me for a second. Like something's reflecting, so it like blocks off right there, so it looks like there's like a pocket of air or something in there. Whatever. That's pointless. But yeah, I think it looks so much better this way. It's got the purple. It's definitely to where the point of where I wanted it. I mean, when I originally built the system, I did not plan. I'm like, oh, 1080 is gonna be more than good enough for me. I'm not gonna need any more. But then I kind of got to, in my head, I'm thinking like, I spent all the money to water cool this thing and everything. Like, why not just kind of go over the top? You know, to the degree that I can. Like, you know, over the top with like two 1080 Ti's and a, you know, like a 6900K or something, or with, you know, build new with Ryzen or something like that. But you know, I don't have the kind of money to do that sort of stuff. But I figure, you know what, 1080's dropped in price, might as well get a second one. It's already going to cost me, you know, a decent amount of money to get another block, and obviously the bridge, and then what else did I have to buy? I had to buy a second block, the back plate, that, and obviously the fluids and stuff too, that, which isn't too expensive, but then, you know, that's all there. But I kind of want to make this quick little video, so I had some content on the channel, maybe so some of the guys, some people that actually subscribe to me know why there haven't been so many videos besides life stuff. But either way, guys, I really hope you guys enjoy. I really hope you enjoyed seeing this come together. I think it looks so much cooler than it did before. And like I said, I know the bends aren't perfect. I got some bubbles. I got, not really bubbles, I got some just like kinks that I think it's just because I went a little crazy with them. But I think it looks pretty cool at the same time. So I can deal with it. I think it was well worth. I think it's well worth it compared to what I had before anyway. Hey guys, like I was saying, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see, you know, updates to this build. I'm thinking about doing some more PC builds on the channel, if I can find a way to, you know, put together something. I do want to put together a Ryzen system. I have been helping my friend order parts for Ryzen. I've been debating recording because I'm going to help him build the computer. So maybe I'm debating on doing it. Maybe seeing, just kind of get on this channel. This is my first impressions with Ryzen and stuff like that, because honestly, I really wish Ryzen was out when I built this computer for what I do, because it's mainly for content creation. I know my 6800K is probably a little bit better for gaming, but not significantly enough of a difference where the 8 cores would help with my workflow so much better than the 6800 that I got for, you know, $70 more. So it would be less than the 6850, but, you know, more than my 6800. I think it would have totally been worth it for an 1800X. But at this point, I'm rambling. So either way, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna get out of here. Before I do, remember, stay lucky.